That's the former England midfielder Danny Murphy talking about Phil Foden. Now, just a few moments ago, Gareth Southgate spoke ahead of tomorrow's World Cup qualifier against Hungary. We've got live commentary of that on talkSPORT tomorrow evening. I'll be at Wembley from 7. He was asked whether Phil Foden's good enough to start against the Hungarians.
Well, I have a headache and I commit a crime every time I pick a team. So it's very difficult every time you have to name a squad because we have so many good players and such good, strong competition for places. So, yeah, of course, there were lots of players that did their own confidence and their own reputations the world of good the other day, and that's pleasing to see.
Very interesting. He's so diplomatic with it, isn't it? And that basically tells you, then, don't you? He knows he's right as well. He will get criticised, whatever team he picks, because we're all managers. We all have our own teams. We all have our own views on players. And I know a lot of people might be thinking, yeah, it's easy, Foden for Mount. But then you look what Mount did in the Champions League final. That's what he can deliver. That's what he can bring.
Yeah, they're all terrific players. He's very lucky as a manager as well, but he's got all these young players that have come through, and he's a big part of that, by the way, developing the younger players through England. He was involved in all that before he got the job, and we have so many. And when was the last time an England manager can go into a game like that, not a friendly, go into a game and think, I can rest Kane, I can rest with Bellingham, I can rest all these guys, I don't have to put Shaw at left back, I don't have to put Pickford in the goals, I could change my centre-halves. Yeah, he's got so many players he could give the opportunity to. He brought in 2 late ones there, Abraham and Ward-Prowse, and guess what? They both started. So he's got so much talent, footballers, that he can do it.
He has. A Scotland fan has tweeted me saying, imagine John McGinn in the England midfield. So I asked, getting in ahead of who? This is on Twitter. And Peter's replied, Mason Mount. John McGinn gets ahead of Mason Mount because he's got more goal involvements at international level, playing for a poorer team in the same position. I mean, Mount and England go deeper into tournaments, to be fair. So, when it really mattered at the Euros, what did McGinn do there? Just asking that question. Joey, a Leeds fan. Hiya, mate. You're on talkSPORT.
Hi, you too. I've not been on for a few years because my work phone wouldn't let me call the number, but now you've got the 03 number. 03 number I can do.
Okay. Perfect.
If my boss is listening, I didn't just say that, obviously. You've riled me up a bit here talking about Kalvin Phillips. I'm not going to lie. I'm a Leeds fan, so I am biased. I'll admit that. But he's not going to. No, I'm not having him leaving Leeds because he's done all he can do, Durham. I'm not having that.
Okay, so Leeds get relegated this season. Do you still think he should stay in the Championship?
You know what? He can do what he wants to a point because we love him. There's 40,000 of us.
I'm sure he'll be grateful for your permission.
Yeah. There's about 40,000 of us that look at him like he's our own son, not just our own product from the Leeds Academy or whatever you like. But I wouldn't get rid of him out of the England team because he's done nothing wrong, and don't forget he's played out of position for England and still got voted their best player of the year. Southgate doesn't play a 4-1-4-1 like Bielsa. He doesn't have that single pivot. If because something happened to Declan Rice, you had to play Kalvin as a single pivot in England team, you'd probably see him boss international games akin to Pirlo, hence his nickname. You'd probably see that a lot more than him being a slightly out of position box to box.
Saying that, I preferred seeing him as a box to box player for England. He actually looked a better player. We got to see more of him.
I liked it because it was a bit different. Yeah, we did get to see a bit more of him, but you can't beat him sat there in that holding role, just spraying balls like golf shots all match. He's unbelievable.
What about this, Joey? Jim has just tweeted us saying Calvin's biggest game at Leeds is versus Man United. How did that go this season and last season?
Who cares?
You don't care about losing to Man United heavily. Of course you do.
The teenager in me does, but, I'm a grown man and there's 37 other games a season. It's probably bigger for Man United fans than it is for us because, they feel like they've got one up on us. But that's another argument for another day when we play them again. I'm not getting into that. I've got 34 years of talking about that.
Well, James has tweeted as well, Joe. He says, I genuinely believe John McGinn, and this is a hypothetical, of course he's Scottish, will get in over Kalvin Phillips. His work ethic is unreal. I think he's been terrific.
Well, there's a debate in it, and you will have fans of one club saying McGinn and you had fans of another club saying Phillips, wouldn't
Of course,
you?
yeah.
I mean, but they're both good players.
Yeah,
good
and
players,
they're
good
not
Premier
wrong,
League
yeah.
players, and they're performing for their country at this moment in time.
Paul's a Spurs fan. Hiya, Paul.
Hiya, how you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good to have you on. What do you want to say?
Well, I just want to say, the most undervalued midfielder is James Ward-Prowse. He's the guy that sort of kind of got the headlines. The Sanchos and the Fodens played well because we had a guy that just passed quicker, thought quicker at the back and started it from the back.
So hang on, he gets in ahead, and everybody knows I'm a big JWP fan, but he gets in ahead of who in the England 11?
Well, I would probably have James Ward-Prowse, either Phillips or Rice, and then either Grealish or Foden. So we've got two really good ball players. One.
So you'd have Grealish deeper.
I'd have Grealish deeper or Foden deeper. Yeah.
Very interesting. Listen, thanks for that.
So
That's a
no
Spurs
Mount.
fan as well.
Mount's amazing, isn't it? Because he's always been one of them. It looked like nobody rated him. And I think we saw some of the games he played for Chelsea, and every manager that comes in picks him, right, in his main 11. Then people said, oh, Mount's superb, right? Because of the tournament he's had. And now they can't wait to get rid of him again.
No,
Isn't he amazing?
I think that his defensive discipline is so underrated. It goes unseen. I'm a big Ward-Prowse fan, and I thought it was so ironic, wasn't it? Because I'd said before the game, if we get a penalty,
He
he's
replaces
taking it.
Henderson,
And then he missed the penalty.
He replaces Henderson. If I feel as though Henderson's not that level of footballer anymore for England, Ward-Prowse replaces him in a squad, don't you think?
He's just signed a massive contract at Southampton, and I'm surprised by that.
No, it's likely to get a better fee for him, isn't it?
I suppose. I mean,
I'm sure there'll be a buyout clause. If he's got any decent agent, there's got to be surely a buyout clause.
Stand by. This weekend, Leeds, Southampton, talkSPORT 2, 3 o'clock Saturday. Live commentary. So we'll have the
Leeds signing him.
battle of the two midfielders, Phillips against Ward-Prowse. We shall see. This is talkSPORT.